Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I'm gonna be honest. When Dante came over, one second. When Dante came over to Liz's place to tell her, we have some bad news. It's like, what is it? And then when Dante was like, well, it's about Franco's studio. There was a fire and there was arson. I was like, I don't know why, but I feel kind of disappointed. I don't know the way the last episode ended, the scene and the fact that there was like no music was like, well, what's going on? Was like a death in the family or something like that? What tragedy really happened? And so when he came over and he was like, oh, it was a fire. I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little like it was a little more grandioso than that, but all right, sure. So Cam comes downstairs, and Cam, after he asks, when was the last time you were there? When was the last time Cam was there? Cam says that it was most likely Peter to cover his tracks, and after that, Dante left, and Cam was like, it's just kind of weird, like this coincidence that about the fire just happening and everything. And at first, Liz like, you've been watching, you've been listening to too many paranormal podcasts or whatever. So he leaves to go get some sugar because for some odd reason he forgot to put sugar in the tea. I don't really understand how you forget that, but okay, sure. But then she starts sitting there thinking about the ring and everything like that. And she looks at her ring and she's like, yeah, this is. She just has that look on her face like he's not entirely wrong. Between the fact that the fire, having that Franco's out of nowhere, the ring, I don't know. So Peter runs into Finn and he's like, oh, my back is hurting. And, Finn's like, well, you probably should talk to your doctor. Peter was like, well, it seems like it's hurting a lot. It's almost like somebody like threw me down a flight of steps. Like that kind of pain. So, Finn is like, all right, let's just go in the room. So he goes in the room. He goes in the room with Peter. And Peter's like, listen, let's just keep this really simple. Find a way to keep me here. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit there and blab that you try to kill me. So Finn is like, all right, well, good luck with that because there's no evidence. And, well, I'm a respected doctor and, well, you're Peter. So good luck with all that. He walks out. And at some point, Martin comes over and, Peter tells Martin about the whole, Finn trying to kill him and everything like that, and how he's going to sit there and blab to the world. Or he wants him to sit there and, tell the cops and stuff. And Martin's like, and I already knew that it was a bad idea. Martin's like, yo, this is a bad idea. Because if you do that, then they're going to sit there and start to open up an investigation about why he tried to throw you down the stairs. And, what was his motives? The fact that you try to poison him, you poison his brother. Yeah, let's not do that. Because I'm already sitting there fighting one charge. And you have a lot more. And this will actually wind up hurting you more than helping you. So keep your damn mouth shut. Let me do my thing. And, you know, everything's all good. So Peter's like, all right, cool, I'm going to do that. But in case this doesn't work out like you think it does, have an accomplice. So I guess we'll sit there and I was gonna sit there and say I guess we'll sit there and find out tomorrow, but I'm so because I'm always on Instagram, way more than I should be. I saw something. I think it was like ABC Soaps or ABC Soap Opera Digest, one of the two, or a couple of them. They plan on doing this whole, farewell thing to Luke, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really looking forward towards that at all. At all. I'm gonna be honest. And I saw the previews towards tomorrow, and it looked like they're gonna dive into that. And I'm gonna be honest, like I am probably just I don't know. I feel like I already would just want to fast forward through it, like I just don't care. But I also feel like there may be something to it. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll sit there and get some drinks. 'Cause I have a feeling I don't want to sit there and do that episode sober. I just like I don't care unless it goes somewhere. This is my whole thing. Unless it goes somewhere, we find out the real reason. Like maybe Luke actually did die. He died off screen, and that would be a shame. Or maybe Victor is holding them captive somewhere, and that would be interesting. But if it's just gonna be one of those, oh, we're just gonna go through Luke's greatest hits and show all these flashbacks. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like I don't really care. I vaguely remember watching that stuff when I was a kid. Um, and normally that stuff is actually kind of fun, but the minute they start doing this whole Luke is dead and yeah, blah blah blah, I just became so disinterested. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to sit there and see where this whole Peter thing's gonna go with Martin as far as his other accomplice. So we'll see. Ned. You know what? Tomorrow I feel like I'm just gonna skim through it and whatever I find out. I feel like I really don't want to watch it already, but all right, screw it. I'm just gonna sit there and watch the whole thing. Um, so Ned comes over to Brooklyn. This is after Maxie seemed like she's about to freak out because Brooklyn's like, "Yo, Tracy knows. Don't worry about it. She knew because of X, Y, and Z. But she knows." Um, So Maxie's freaking out. At this point, it's just one too many people that know her secret. Just sit there and remind everyone. And granted, I know it's a soap opera, it's a drama. It had to go this way for the most dramatic effect and drama, drama, drama. So I get it. Listening to thinking, Maxie, if you just would have sat there and told the right people instead of going through this plan, this little wormhole that you went through, you and me sitting there freaking out now, and you and me sitting there and constantly being defensive every time people want to help you. But here you are, because this plan actually made sense to you. So they're talking about that. Ned comes over, Max leaves. Ned acts like a dick to Chase because why not at this point? I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little kind of annoying. Actually, it's been annoying. So Chase leaves, and Ned is like, what's going on with you? She's like, Tracy, he's like, Tracy wasn't there telling me something like you're in danger or like something's going on with my granddaughter. What's going on? What's up? So Brooklyn lies. They talk about Chase a little bit, and it gets to a point where Ned is like, are you falling for Chase? And Brooklyn's like, no, 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 no. But then she's like, what do you sit there and think? You think I'm not good enough for him? Or this whole thing because of the whole mean comments. And at one point, it seemed like she was kind of optimistic about it. Like, and that was like, well, Brooklyn was like, do you actually see us as a couple? Do you see us actually being a thing? And it was like, yeah. Well, because of babies and everything like that, and they connect parents and stuff. And I'm just sitting there thinking, at the end of this whole thing, they're gonna try to find some sort of way to make them work. But I mean, with that idea of, well, it's only gonna work because you guys are co-parents. I don't know. I'm just I know I was not there reading comments and stuff like that, and some people were. Well, I know one person was not there say, "I'm glad that they kind of slowed down and not kind of rushed him so much." And I agree, but I don't know. I, this whole derailment, like the way it was set, chasing it there, saying a bunch of mean comments to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn feeling sad and feeling like, in a way, like she's not good enough for Chase, and now just slowing it down. I just, this is exactly the reason why I don't really do this whole shipping and coupling and stuff like that because no, No, this is exactly this is well, this is one of the reasons why. Because of stuff like that and just no, I don't have the patience for that. And Valentine and Anna's talking and everything seems like it's going well. They're talking about Victor and Valentine's in on the whole, yeah, I'll sit there and play Victor and try to see what his motives is. But then he talks about the revenge of Brooklyn, because of what Brooklyn did to him and what Brooklyn did to his daughter. And Anna's like, do you really think that revenge is necessary? I'm sitting there thinking, yes. Did you not just, I was like, did you not just hear what he said as far as his daughter is concerned? About how his daughter, threw out a book or whatever because she liked reading it to Bailey, but since, she can't really read it to Bailey anymore, like she doesn't read it anymore. So the fact that she was like, do you think it's really necessary? It's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, did you not actually pay attention to what actually happened? And how it not just affected him, but his daughter. Like it's one of those things where it's like, if it was just him, all right, cool, whatever. But he was like, yo, I don't roll like that. And so, it gets into this whole thing where it's like, gray areas, and this is who I am, and you're gonna sit there and take me for who I am, and I've always been kind of having this gray area. Um, are you go? Are you go with me now? And Anna's like, I don't know. But before she can really sit there and give like a full answer, Dante comes in and, tells her about the fire and maybe Peter's covering it up and, give me a list of suspects that he might have worked with. And then also, tells her to, be careful of Valentine. So when Valentine comes back, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be on board. I'm going to sit there and then work Victor. And if I feel like this revenge plot is going too far, I'll shut it down. And Anna's like, well, how far is too far? And Valentine's like, you can have to trust me. You trust me, right? And I don't remember what she said. She said like, oh, I don't know, or maybe, or whatever. But it didn't sound like a yes. Um, I don't know. It's I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm sitting there thinking about it. When Charlotte did come over there to visit Bailey to give her present, yeah, she seemed like she was a little bummed out about not being sisters. But she seemed like she had a bond and she wanted to sit there and do something nice for Bailey anyway. Like she seemed like she was in, at the very least, decent spirits. Like to go over there and talk to her and give her a book and stuff like that. So it's like you making this. I mean, granted, we don't see Charlotte too often. We don't know as far as what she's going through. But the way he made it sound like she was sitting there crying in her room like every day, and we just saw her last holiday, last Christmas or whatever, still giving a book to Bailey, even though she didn't actually have to do that. So, is this more about you, or is it, what I'm saying? Is it really so much about Charlotte, or is this more about you and looking weak and your rep or whatever? So, I don't know. So Finn actually tells Chase about what happened at the rooftop. Because he they were talking for a little bit about Liz and his date and everything like that. But Finn still looked worried, and Chase was like, I want to know what's going on. And I don't exactly remember what Finn said to really kind of be like, all right, bro, we got to talk. But he said something, and Chase was like, all right, so that was pretty much the wrong answer. So now I definitely want to know what's going on. And Finn is like, listen, there's a good chance you may hear this anyway. So he tells Chase about, throwing Peter down the stairs and about the antidote and, the body and put him in the freezer. And now he's out there walking around. Um, and so, Chase is like, listen, when the dust is settled, don't let him sit there and rattle you because he doesn't actually have any sort of physical evidence. And even Peter, when he was talking to Martin, he was like, is there any sort of footage or anything like that? No. So with that being said, Chase is like, yo, listen, just lay low, go about your day because he doesn't have anything on you. And, he still looks at him like a hero. And is in a lot of ways actually glad that he got poisoned as opposed of Finn. Because when it really comes down to it, who would have actually saved, Finn? Like, Jay said he wouldn't be able to do it. And if, Finn wasn't on his game and doing everything he was doing, yeah, there would have been a good chance he would have been dead. So, or maybe not. Who knows? So Felicia, so Felicia comes to visit Austin and tries to get Austin to convince Maxie to go back to the scene of the crime. But Austin's like, yo, listen, I'm not doing it because, like, if she's not ready to go, I'm not going to sit there and try to force her or try to push her in that direction. So, Felicia kind of pries a little bit, but then she kind of, steps back and kind of realizes that, you know what, listen, I'm glad that you're not the type of person that would sit there and force her to do something that she doesn't want to do. Why doesn't they talk about Maxie? Maxie walks up and Maxie's like, I don't like y'all two talking about me. I was like, sweetheart, you might want to sit there and actually hear them out first before you start in with whatever kind of energy that you got, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling it. But Felicia's like, listen, I've been trying to get him, convince him to get you to go back to the scene of the crime. And Maxie's like, I'm not doing it. And so Austin's like, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and have you do that. So I'm going to do it. I want to sit there and do whatever it takes to sit there and get your child back. And Max is like, what? Because she didn't expect that. When Felicia dropped it, Max was like, all right, cool. And she found out that Austin was doing it. She was like, oh, yeah, this is kind of bad. Because Austin's like, I may sit there and remember something. And Max was like, you know what? I'm going to go with you. You know, this way I can be there in case, whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, this plan is just spiraling out of control. You want to let some people in on this? Like, my whole thing is like, this thing is not working. She is trying and trying and trying, and I get it to an extent. Okay, she's being a mother. She's doing what she can to sit there and try to stall and buy time until Peter is locked away. But or something happens to him. When she was at Brooklyn's place, she's like, "Yo, listen, how long are we gonna have to do this for?" Peter always finds a way to escape between his money, his resources. He's always going to get out of something. You know, a lot of times I'm sitting there thinking about GH or thinking about stuff I'm going to sit there and talk about. I'm always sitting there thinking Peter is, the man with the plan or the man with the master plan. He always has a contingency plan. He always has an out, a backup, something. Technically, you want to call it plot armor, sure. Kind of like Batman. But my point is, he always has something up his sleeve. So Maxie really is, she wants something to happen, but she can't really count on the fact that, yeah, there's a good chance that he can go to jail. So, um, but at this point, I'm like, you're gonna have to start letting some more people in. I mean, about a secret, you know, once more than one person knows, there's only a matter of time before everyone else knows. But maybe if you let the right people know, they can try to do something. Because this is just getting like out of hand. Um, it's not like yeah, it's just getting out of hand. So I guess Max is gonna sit there and keep up this ruse until she can't keep it up anymore. Oh wow, tomorrow's Friday. Now I can see why they're trying to do this whole special thing. Oh well, at least the Carly and maybe Sunny, if Sunny is actually in the episode, maybe that stuff be pretty interesting. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I'm sitting there thinking about that one part, you know what it is? I think about the whole Sean Donnelly story and the whole other thing with Kim, the guy who played um Scott Baldwin. I guess when the real life actress passed away, they did this whole side story, and I am not a fan of side stories. So, to be honest, I'm There's a lot of parts I'm just not looking forward into this next episode, but I don't know. Let's just see how it goes, and we'll just go from there. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.